everybody, it's time again for another Chino Hills market update for the month of September 2023. If you are in the city of Chino Hills, or if you're not, I do this little door hanger that I send out to a few thousand homes every month. If you would like to get one of these each month at the beginning of the month so that you can kind of see what the numbers are, drop me a comment down below. I'll reach out to you, we'll get your information, and we'll be sure to bring you one of these. So kind of a cool thing. Anyway, so let's talk about the market for September. First, I'm going to go over single family residences. I consider these anything that are detached. So there might be some that are considered technically condos, but they're detached. They would be lumped in with these numbers. So just so that you know that. There were 41 sales in the month of September, and that was up 2 from August and up 3 year over year, so last September. So things are happening. As far as, there's an increase of sales. We're still historically much lower than we are on average. That number is usually closer to about 60, 70 a month this time of year. But we're seeing a little bit of a pickup. As far as the number of sales, how many closed above the list and how many below, there were 24 of those 41 sales that closed above the list price, 13 below, and 4 at. So this still shows that there is buyer demand out there, even though interest rates have gone up quite a bit. Even in the past 2 or 3 months, the Fed stopped raising rates back in August, and right now the 10-year Treasury, which is kind of a benchmark for the economy, it correlates with mortgage interest rates. That's up 300 basis points, so about 0.3%. So rates have gone up and demand is still out there. But do keep in mind, these transactions were probably negotiated back in like August or the middle of August. So, we'll see what next month brings in terms of the number of sales and how many are closing above and below. I have started to see a few more price reductions than normal for Chino Hills and the surrounding area. So just keep that in mind. So new listings. This is one half of the component of what we could expect to see for future months in terms of amount of inventory and possibly how many sales happen. The more inventory you have, you should have more transactions just because there's more selection. More buyers are going to find a home that is right for them versus when inventory is very low and let's say half of the buyers have very particular needs. Well, there's less out there to satisfy those needs. So we were down for the month of September. There was only 34 new listings in Chino Hills. That's down five homes. So there was 39 in August of this year. And we are down a pretty big number, 16 year over year, so last September. And last September, interest rates were on the rise. They weren't quite at their height for the year, but they were getting there. And you had people that were still trying to capitalize on the appreciation that we had seen. Although you'll see in a future slide, the number of closed sales last year, or not the number, but the median price for closed sales this time last year was quite a bit lower than it is this year. Oh, as far as the percentages, we're at 12.8% down from August and down 32% from this time last year. So median sales price in the city of Chino Hills, single family residences for the month of September, it was $1,039,000. So nice jump over August, that was just a month ago. The median home sales price was $980,000. That we are seeing a 5.6% increase for September over August. And year over year, going back to last September, huge jump, almost 20%, 865,026. So that time last year, there was a kind of a rate shock that was going through the market, and you had a lot of price reductions. Now, it wasn't necessarily that the values had dropped that much, but you had homes that were listed earlier in the year that were assuming appreciation. So a lot of those drops last year were not only to get their property competitive again, but they might have been overpriced to begin with. So just something to keep in mind when we look over the year-over-year stats. If we look further back and kind of get just a recent history perspective, right now we are at a new peak, or actually we are at a peak in the market. If we go back last year, I mentioned it prior, we were at $865 for the median sales price. 2021, that was kind of the hot year. We're above those prices now, but for September of 2021, we were up $932. So this is that correction that you saw. So everybody talked about a market correction. We definitely saw one between 21 and 22 when interest rates went up. Now, what's lying ahead? We are going to go into some slower months. Right now, I'm filming this in early October, and we are going into the cyclical downslope as far as, from here until the end of the year. We're going to see fewer sales. We'll probably see more price reductions, or the median sales prices are probably going to go down. So expect that. It's not a crash. It's not out of the ordinary. It happens every year. But if you're a buyer, you're going to have more selection. You're going to have a little bit more leverage going into the end of the year as a buyer. Sellers, if you have to sell, you've got to sell. You're still at a high point in the market. So not a bad time. If we go back to 2020, the median sales price was only $725,000 in the city. So if you bought then in 2020 or earlier, you've seen a ton of appreciation. So 43% in just the last 3 years. Annualized, that's just a little above 14%. So a case for sellers that are sitting on a lot of equity. Either you have no loan on your property, you've got 100% equity, or you've got a smaller balance on your existing loan. If you're going to move out of state to a lower priced market where you can pay cash for your next home, or you only have to take out a small loan to make that next purchase if you're downsizing locally or out of the area, now is a really good time to consider selling. Historically, you'll see values and transaction volume increase as we get into the spring. But that's 6 months away, and who knows what the economy is going to be like then. If you're in a situation where you think you want to sell within the next 6 months to a year, really right now, even with the decrease in volume and the slight decrease that we'll probably see going into the end of the year, you're still at a near peak of the market. So if you're considering selling, now is a really good time to do that. So days on market, this is a great indicator of just how much demand is out there. The lower that number, the more demand. The bigger the number, the less demand. And we were down 2 from August, so it was 12 days on market in August, and it's down to 10. So that means increase in sales, more transactions, or at least things are getting taken off the market sooner. And that is down significantly from last September, year over year. So we were at 28 days this time last year, and we're down to 10 this year. So still a strong seller's market. One thing that was kind of interesting, in the month of September in the city of Chino Hills, we had 11 homes that expired. The listings expired. So they could have been priced too high, or maybe the seller changed their mind. They didn't want to cancel. They just wanted to let it expire. But regardless, that is equal to the last 3 months combined. So from June, July, and August, there was 11 expireds in the city. And in September alone, there was 11. So not quite sure what exactly that means. Every home has different circumstances why it doesn't sell. Sometimes people change their mind. Sometimes it's priced too high. It needs too much work. Who knows? But just an interesting footnote. Okay, let's take a look at condos now. So these are attached homes. So it could be a townhome, could be a condo. It's attached. It could be a duplex where it shares one wall. Anything attached that sold this month in the city, I am counting it as a condo. So we had 9 sales this year. That is down 3. There were 12 in August. And year over year, we are down 2. There was 11 sales in September of last year. As far as the sale price, what it sold at versus what it listed, we had 7 that closed above the list price. We had 1 that closed under and 1 at the list price. So new listings, we are down pretty big, about 50%, or actually 50% from August and 50% year over year. So less inventory in condos. Days on market is still reduced as well. So as far as looking for a condo in Chino Hills right now, there is relatively little inventory. Okay, median sales price. So for the month of September, the median sales price for condos in Chino Hills was $550,000. That is down 7.1% from August, which was $592,400, and that is up quite a bit year over year. Last September, the median sales price was only $530. So it's got about 3.7% up from this time last year. So let's look at the past 5 years, get some historical perspective of where we're at right now. Median sales price, $550 for this year in September. In 2022, it was $530, 2021, $518. And if we go back to 2020, it was $435. So last 3 years, there was appreciation of 26.4%. That's not quite half, but quite a bit less than the single family home appreciation for the same time in the city. So condos, you know, they appreciated in value percentage wise, not quite as much as the detached homes. So keep that in mind if you're considering going condo and going single family. Days on market, like I had mentioned earlier, it's down this month, at least from August, 10%. So it was 10 days on market in August of this year. And year over year, a huge difference. So year over year, September of 2022, it was 41 days on market in condos. And now it's at 9. So pretty big drop, 78% to be exact. So that is it. That is the market update for September of 2023 in the city of Chino Hills. My name is Mike Velez. I'm a broker here in the city. I would love to help you with any questions that you have buying or selling. It doesn't have to be Chino Hills. Work all around the local area. Reach out to me. My number is 909-247-0374, or you can go to buildingrealty.com. There's a link down below. I hope you enjoyed this, and please like and subscribe if you want to see more of these.